Oh, hello. I'm just trying on a new life jacket. You're probably saying, well, why am I trying on my life jacket here in the office? So I'm not likely to fall into the water from here, right? Well, I just want to be ready in case there's an emergency. Because, well, in an emergency, things can happen really quickly. So I just practice to be safe. You see, safety is a very important factor here in the Big Harbor, so we take it quite seriously. But George has become something of a safety expert. And that wasn't always the case. No. I remember something that happened just last week. The tugboats were gathered at the Great Ocean Tug and Salvage Company dock, waiting for the dispatcher to give out the jobs for the day. The weather was fine and clear, but few ships were expected in the harbor that day. George was wondering if they might all be given the day off.
I'd like to sail up the coast and visit some friends,
he told Emily.
Good morning, tugboats,
said the dispatcher.
I have some good news. There are no jobs scheduled until this afternoon, so you may all have the morning free.
The tugs cheered happily. All except Kodak.
Excuse me,
said Kodak, moving close to the dispatcher.
But I believe we do have something to do this morning.
And what would that be, Kodak? Said the dispatcher.
Well, my emergency signal flag class,
replied Kodak very seriously. All the tugs went on.
Not this morning,
said George.
If you remember,
Kodak continued,
last week's class had to be canceled because we were so busy.
I do remember now, said the dispatcher, and I said you could hold the class as soon as we had some free time.
And the first free time,
said Kodak,
is this morning.
You see, it was Kodak's job to hold regular safety classes for the tugs, and he was an expert on signal flags.
Thanks for reminding me, Kodak,
said the dispatcher.
All tugs will attend signal flag class this morning. I don't need a class for signal flags,
said George.
I know them all.
We have to be prepared for an emergency, said Kodak quietly.
We've been over it all before,
said George to the others.
It's a waste of time.
George, said Emily, the dispatcher told us to go to Kodak's class.
Oh, all right,
sighed George.
Let's practice the silly old flag signals.
The tugs gathered for signal flag class out in the harbor. In the busy world of the harbor, it is important that all ships can talk to each other in an emergency by showing colored signal flags. The flags are like special words that ships say to each other. The signals help prevent accidents.
Let's get started,
said Kodak.
I will show one of the signal flags and ask someone to tell me what it means. Ready?
Ready, said all the tugs, except George, who didn't seem to be listening.
All right,
said Kodak, showing the first signal flag.
What does this flag mean? Emily?
That flag means... Emily paused, thinking. I am leaving for the ocean.
Right, said Kodak. It does mean I am leaving for the ocean. I wish I was leaving,
said George. He was trying to make a joke. But Hank was the only one who laughed. Kodak showed a different flag.
What does this signal mean?
He said.
Theodore?
Let me think, said Theodore. I think it means I'm dragging my anchor.
Very good,
said Kodak.
This class is dragging too,
said George.
Let's try another one,
said Kodak as he showed a new flag.
What does this signal mean? George?
Said George. He was surprised to hear his own name. Go ahead, George, said Theodore, trying to be encouraging. Tell Kodak what the flag means.
I will,
said George. But he wasn't sure at all what the flag meant.
It means,
I know, called Hank.
Give George a minute to think,
said Kodak.
I don't know what it means,
said George suddenly.
And I don't care.
This signal means I am in trouble, said Kodak. George, you really need to know this one.
These signal flags are silly,
said George.
If a ship is in trouble, she can call me on the radio.
But what if the radio isn't working? asked Emma.
Well, I have other things to do,
said George. He still thought the flags were silly, and he could not remember a time when he had ever had to use them.
We haven't looked at the other signals yet,
called Photo, who had raised another flag.
This is a very important signal.
But George was gone. What does that flag mean? Asked Theodore, who was still paying close attention.
This signal flag means, danger, stay away,
replied Photo. Well, later that day, George was relaxing at the dock when the others returned from signal flag class. My brain is sore from memorizing all those signals, said Hank.
I know what you mean,
laughed George.
Photox class gives me a pain in the head, too.